Where in the Herd is Tiffany, where we talk about travel, lifestyle, and mental health. Follow us on Instagram at Sweet Tiffies, Twitter at Sweet Tiffies, Facebook at Sweet Tiffies Inspirations, and the blog tiffany-travels.com. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. During this video, you will have the opportunity to meet Yinka, Kamara, and Wendy as they discuss their life living in Tijuana as a Black person or a Blaxican. You will also learn about the migrant community, which comprises of Haitian, Caribbean descent, and straight from the motherland. Enjoy! Welcome to Tijuana, Mexico. Hello, everyone. We have a special guest today. We are interviewing Yinks this morning. So, hello, Yinks. How are you?
Hey, Tiffany. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I am super excited to interview you today about your life in Tijuana. So, let's get straight into it. Tell me a little bit about who you are and basically how you ended up in Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Yinka, but I go by Yinks. I am a Nigerian, so Canadian Nigerian. And I moved out to Tijuana because I got a job opportunity out in San Diego to be an engineer. So I worked as a construction engineer for one of the top general contractors in the USA in San Diego. I personally did not. So I moved from El Paso, Texas to San Diego, and I hated. Uh, I wouldn't say I hated. I did not like California. I hated California, to be honest. And so my experience in San Diego was not all that. It didn't really align with my values, and I just kind of fell off. So, but because I was in El Paso, I had already
Yanks, that
gone.
hurts my heart that you didn't like California, but keep going.
I'm so sorry. But because I was in El Paso, I was already kind of exposed to Mexico. So I already had a Mexican family. My best friend was Mexican, is Mexican, I shouldn't say was. And so I used to go down to Juarez and some other places in Mexico a lot. So the main thought was, why not just move out to TJ? And I already speak some Spanish. I'll be fine. And that could also help me brush up on my Spanish. And ultimately, the reason why I moved out to TJ was because I wanted to be able to learn the culture, be able to speak Spanish properly so I could use it on the construction field, and then also be able to save money if that was going to help me out and pay off whatever debt that I might have incurred from college, even though I was a track athlete on scholarship. So yeah, that was how TJ became an option. Thought about it, talked to a couple people at work, and just like that, the bing just started, and your boy was in TJ. Boom. And it felt like God just ordered like my steps because I had to figure out a way to terminate my contract in San Diego. Things just worked out. Some bad things happened in the apartment, which was able to help me terminate my contract and my lease, I should say. And voila, I moved to TJ and it was fun.
So that's exciting that you were able to work in San Diego and then move to Tijuana because the cost of living is much cheaper. So let us know how much would you pay for an apartment, and then also tell us a little bit how it is living in Tijuana as a Black man or just like a Black expat in general. A lot of people want to know, are they welcome in the city? Like, did you encounter any police things that we're trying to get away from in the US? I know I threw a lot of questions at you, but we'll try to get all of
Absolutely.
them.
So first, cost of living is significantly cheaper than it is in San Diego. So it compares to what I was paying in El Paso, Texas. Texas, as you guys know, is probably the cheapest state to live in. So for 2-bedroom flat, which I had, I was paying $550 for 2 bedrooms, which had a kitchen, which had my own bathroom, and yeah, I had my parking space in a gated area. And so $550 with utilities and electricity and all those bills, it comes out to maybe $570 maybe $580 on a very, very high month, but $560, $570 was average. Food for me, I'm a single Black man, so cost me $150. I cook most of my meals per month. So cost of living altogether was less than $1,000 for me, easily, without a doubt. That's how much I spend. And that includes, for my car insurance, includes paying for gas, all of it less than $1,000. Now, living in Mexico as a Black man or as a Black expat, I never once experienced any sort of racism or any sort of bad things with being a black man. The only thing I've experienced, which I also regularly experience, is maybe some racial profiling. That happens. That I just know that's something that's always going to happen. So I'm not really bothered about that. But I'm very welcomed in the society, especially because I speak Spanish. It really helps. Because the moment when you just start to say, even if it's small words that you know anything, they're like, wow, porque hablas español? And they just, so why are you speaking Spanish? Where did you learn? All these different things. Where are you from? They don't know this. They just keep asking this cycle of things, and like they just want to know more about you. And it's amazing, honestly. People, so for black folks out there, honestly, the truth is you're a Lamborghini out here in Mexico, or it's the truth, because they don't see people like you. So take it and own it. Be proud of it. People might want to take pictures with you. Sometimes it gets a little too much, but you know, you sense some vibes, you have different things. Enjoy it, because they've not seen people like you or people like us, right? We're very different. We're Lamborghini. It's like we're driving on the road and we see Lamborghini, everyone's literally going to stop and just look at that car. Wow. It's the same thing that they do to us, because they don't see people like us. And yeah, and I think that's how my experience has been living as a black man in Tijuana.
Okay.
Amazing.
I'm loving your story. And Yinka, tell us where we can find you at.
Absolutely. If you guys want to find me, I also make YouTube videos. So just search Yinks. And I've been doing a lot of content to help a lot of black people move to Mexico, or anyone honestly move to Mexico. You could also search me on TikTok, Yinks. I am out there showing you some authentic Mexican content right now. And on Instagram at Yinka Odofin. And those are the places where you could find me, guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Yinka. I appreciate it, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
I have another guest. I'm excited to talk to Kamara. She's
Yes.
a black expat in Tijuana. So, Kamara, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Me? Oh, I'm 24. I'm a mom. I moved down here with my boyfriend, and we got a dog once we got here. So we got 2 kids and a dog. um, and that's pretty much it. Like, I like to do pretty much everything. I'm an outdoorsy person. Sometimes I'm an indoorsy person. Sometimes it doesn't really matter.
Okay, so you're pretty much open. So that's super cool.
Hmm.
So let us know about like how you ended up in TJ, and do you work in TJ? Do you work in San Diego? So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so 3 years ago, it's 21, right? Yeah. So in 2018, I moved here. Not here, to San Diego, because that's where I'm from. And I was in my mom's house and I was looking for a place to stay. And I was only supposed to be in my mom's house until I could find a place to stay. And then turns out you need 5 incomes to live in San Diego. So I was like, well, I have one income. I work at a gym. It was in Planet Fitness. And I was making $12 an hour at that time. And I was like, yeah, so an apartment out here is just completely out of my reach. But there was apartments I kept seeing every time I was looking for apartments. I kept seeing advertisements for apartments in TJ over and over and over. And it would be like 2 bedrooms for $300. And I'm like, well, shit. I'm sorry, this is a YouTube video. I'm sorry for cursing. Well, stuff. I mean, like, it just kind of swayed me more because it's like, okay, I had came from New York back to San Diego, and I was paying like, I think the maximum rent I paid in New York was $1,200 for a 4 bedroom house. So when I came back over here, it was just trying to find my own apartment that was reasonable for me. It just wasn't working out, and I kept seeing pretty nice apartments in TJ for cheaper. So it sparked the idea, but it didn't actually work 3 years ago when I was looking into it. And I ended up doing other things with my life. And then recently I was in Dallas, and we were basically paying San Diego prices for rent all over again, but just in Dallas. And I was just like, we were tired of the place. The maintenance sucked. The office sucked. Like, there's just some terrible management. The apartment itself was beautiful though. And I was just like, well, we were thinking about moving, and I was looking in places in Dallas, and I was like, well, I know TJ's cheap, and it's right next to my family. Like my mom lives 2 minutes from the border, literally.
Oh, okay.
And like I'm from San Diego, like you, like, and I'm like sitting here trying to convince them, like, you'll be fine, promise. It'll be like living in Cali, except we're just across the border, and we'll be fine. We can cross into the US, DoorDash, get money, and then come back. And then like the real sell is it's 20 pesos per dollar. So if you got $100, you got 2,000 pesos.
Right. That conversion rates sound real good. And like you said, it's so easy to walk across the border.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you have your family, your support system right there, like,
right.
Hey, why not?
Right. It's just, and like, I've been to TJ before. It wasn't my first time when I moved here. So like I was already pretty comfortable. I knew it wasn't like the cartel is I don't understand that, but I do at the same time. It's just US propaganda that makes people think Mexico is just completely dangerous, and it's completely untrue.
Right. Yeah, the cartels when I go just for dentistry, which I've been back and forth a lot. And my mom was like, what if the cartel gets you? I'm like, can you please stop with the cartel stuff? Like, the only way the cartel is coming for you is if you're looking for them, and I ain't looking for them, so they're not going to bother. So
I don't do nothing that the cartel does.
So you're working in San Diego right now. Yes. So where are you working at now?
I DoorDash for now. Okay. So because it gives me the benefit of working when I want to. Right. So like if I don't want to go a certain weekend to work, I don't have to. If I feel like I have enough money for the next 2 weeks, I can chill out and just be in Mexico and enjoy the beautifulness. And I mainly DoorDash in the nighttime because that's when I make the most money. So I spend the days when I am there, like in San Diego, just chilling around San Diego because San Diego is equally as beautiful. Right. And then, I DoorDash at night and then come back across the border.
Okay, so that's a good idea. I like the fact that you have the flexibility. So tell us, how is it living as a Black woman or just a Black person in general in Tijuana? Are you well received? Have you had any issues? I know we have a lot of issues with like police brutality here. Like, are you encountering those things or
no? So like, it's different here. The cops roll around in trucks with AKs, like not AKs, but like big rifles, assault rifles. And it doesn't make me feel unsafe. It's weird. Like I get a different feeling from the Mexican cops than I do from the USA cops, like because I just know they're out to get me, like kind of thing. Whereas in Mexico, they're like, okay, another foreigner. I know a lot of people are afraid because they've been scammed by the cops. I heard that the new scam it's not giving me $20 anymore. It's giving me $60. Like they want to ruffle your feathers for 60. That has not happened to me personally. I have had zero interaction with the cops out here, except like across the border. You feel me? Like those cops, but that's really Border Patrol. Right. But other than that, no. As far as like being received as a Black person, it's like it's across the board, not a racism thing. Like if the Mexicans don't like you, it's not because you're Black. It's because you're American.
That's a different perspective.
Yeah, it's more of a nationalism thing, and it's not because they hate Americans. It's because they see us as rich. I learned recently that the average Mexican makes like 2,000 to 4,000 pesos a week, which is not a lot of money in American. And for us, like if someone makes 800 every 2 weeks, they're broke. To them, if someone makes 800 every 2 weeks, they're rich. Like people can live their whole life off of $500 out here per month because they make like maybe $125 per week. So that is really their main concern, because with us continuously moving here, the rents and the prices for a lot of things are going up. So we're kind of gentrifying the area, but it's not on purpose. You feel me? It's not us that's doing it, it's the owners, if that makes sense. So the owners are the ones who are setting the prices and everything. And because they see that there's an American interest, they inflate the prices really high, and it makes it harder for the Mexicans who are actually have the right to be here because they were born here. So that's where like their disgruntled comes from.
Right.
But majority of the like literally, I don't think I've ever met one disgruntled Mexican who was like, get out of Mexico, like the way Americans are to Mexicans. If anything, they're super polite, super nice. Even if they don't want to deal with me, they're still nice.
But no, Kamara, I think you made a great point that I didn't necessarily think about, because I think we do relate to race, but I think it's important to talk about class.
Yes.
And so we talk about gentrification in the States, not realizing that it could definitely be happening internationally as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like super enjoying this conversation right now.
Yeah.
Another special guest for you. We have Wendy, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Hello, I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this project. Well, my name is Wendy Delgadillo. I live in Tijuana, Baja California. I'm a Blaxican. I am a community organizer and activist. I've been living in Tijuana since 2012. I'm what they call transfronteriza, meaning I grew up on both sides of the US-Mexican border because my mother is Mexican and my father is African American. And I'm really overjoyed about all the Black people that have recently been moving to this state or Mexico, this country, because back in 2012, I felt like I was the only Black girl out here. So things have changed a lot in the last, I'm going to say 4 years, since the migrant caravan started arriving with a lot of people of African descent from Haiti, from the Caribbean, from the African continent. So Tijuana has really changed a lot in the last 4 years, for the better, I think.
Okay, so since you mentioned the migrant caravan, can you talk a little bit about that and tell us what exactly was happening back at that time, or what was going on?
Okay, well, there was like a mass mobilization of immigrants from countries like Haiti and like Central America, who basically made the journey, almost most of it by foot from their countries. A lot of the Haitians, they went to Brazil first, and then they walked from Brazil all the way to this border.
Wow,
A lot of them walked most of the way. I'm sorry, shh, my dog. Quiet.
How long would How long would a journey like that take by foot? I can't even imagine.
I hear it took, I mean, I didn't do it. This is just from what they have told me. But some of them, it took them a couple months. It was a long journey.
I'm pretty sure it was. So were they trying to stay in Mexico, or were they trying to cross into the USA?
Oh, most of these people are asylum seekers. So they're seeking asylum in the US.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, the United States closed their borders. So right now, like all that is like kind of at a standstill, and a lot of people have been stuck here. They got stuck here in Tijuana, and a lot of them. I have friends who have decided not to seek asylum in the U.S. and try to build a life here in Mexico instead.
Oh, wow, that's super interesting. So the Mexican community or Tijuana has actually embraced those people that are now living in Tijuana. Is that correct?
Many of us have, and there are also many who are xenophobic and racist.
Oh,
So
okay. And
there's a little of both.
okay, and that makes sense. I think that's everywhere. I don't know if we could escape racism or different things like that, but I am happy to hear that a lot of people have embraced them, because it's very hard to be, I don't even know what it feels like to be asylum seeker. So the fact that some part of the community embracing them is something that I would like to hear about. So tell me, as your role as an activist, have you played any role in this, or what have you done in the community? And then, well, I'll let you answer that first, and then I'll ask the last question, which is, what is it like living as a Blaxican in Tijuana, Mexico?
Okay. Well, I am part of a project. We call ourselves Resistance Workshop, and basically we're workshop facilitators. We're a collective of 6 people, and we're
Okay.
workshop facilitators. And we have been working at a migrant LGBTQ shelter called
Okay.
Casa Arcoiris here in Tijuana, and we've been facilitating workshops, and our purpose is to promote more solidarity and community compassion within like all the different marginalized groups in Tijuana, because even within like the migrant community, there's a lot of diversity. Everyone is, they're all from all these different countries, and there's in this particular shelter, there's a lot of culture clash. So we decided to come in and do this and do this project, and as a spin-off, um, one of the members of our collective, she is a documentary filmmaker, and
Okay.
so she is filming the process. She is filming the workshops, and she is documenting migrant stories. And we're working on a short animation film from all the stories that we have been collecting.
Okay, I'm excited for the project. It's funny, I literally just met Wendy or reached out to her, but I'm super excited about this project. And I absolutely cannot wait to meet Wendy in person so that we can talk more about this. I really appreciate that. We're gonna look forward to this documentary. Wendy, tell us a little bit about how it is for you, because I know you advocate for other people, but how is it for you living in Tijuana as a Blaxican?
Well, like I said, like a few years ago in 2012, I felt like I was the only Black girl in the city. and some days were frustrating, just because I'm constantly met with just people thinking I am a expat in my own country, or treating me like I'm not like I don't belong here. And this is my native country, so I feel like mm, uh, there are good days and bad days. Like some days I still come across some anti-Blackness,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah.
Wendy,
But
does your mom and your dad live there with you, or are you living in Tijuana on your own?
oh, I live on my own. I moved
Okay.
out here on my own. My
Okay.
family, my parents live in the States.
Okay. And so how is it, like, how do you incorporate both of your cultures into your daily life or your daily living?
Um Well, my food is definitely Mexican.
Okay.
But you know what? No, it's also like I don't know. I think plantains is a very black food. I don't know if you eat plantains. I eat plantains every day. and I know like and I know that most of my like African friends and Haitian friends, they eat plantains every day too. So we
Yeah,
kind of like had that in common. Like, oh,
yeah.
plantains.
We definitely, yeah, I definitely had plantains while I was at the Haitian restaurant. So, do you cook like any type of soul food or anything like that? Or like Juneteenth is coming up. Would you celebrate something like that to honor your
Um,
culture?
I I do. I observe Juneteenth. I don't know
Okay.
if I could call it like a celebration because a lot of people or black people here in Tijuana they're not really aware of that holiday because that holiday is mostly an African American holiday.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so I observe it here in Mexico, and I make sure to call all my aunties and be like Happy Juneteenth, and but there's no like there aren't any like real Juneteenth celebrations happening, not that I know of,
Right,
except
right,
for
right.
me personally observing the day and just just remembering on that day what the day signifies.
Right. Okay, Wendy, thank you so much. This is not the last of our talks. I'm pretty sure we will meet again because I'm very interested in the work that you're
You
doing.
can see right here, it's a very, very symbolic heart, which shows different hands and people, being united and being together. I am Yinka and I am Nigerian.
I am Tiffany and I'm African American.
And so earlier today in the car on our way here, we were actually talking about how, there's this unspoken war of how Africans are better than Black Americans or Black Americans better than African Americans. And that's one of the reasons why I love traveling, because I'm getting to really explore a lot of this. Even being in the States, I'm getting to really find that community and like be involved with the Black Americans, because we're very, very different, guys. Like, of course, there's been a lot of BLM stuff, and one of the things I realized through all of that was that I don't go through the same struggles that a lot of Black Americans have gone through just because I'm African. And this conversation we had was very cool and really unique, that I think we all need to try and come together and become one. What do you think?
I think the same, because I feel like at the end of the day, I still have the same color running through me as I have through him. So it's like, why not be unified?
Right?
I love my African brothers and sisters. And I just think that we should be unified. I think we have these assumptions about each other without actually getting to know each other. So right here, this is already my brother. And it's funny because this is my social media friend. When I'm out, people are like, are you going to meet somebody from social media? I'm like, yes. So this is our first time actually getting a chance to meet in person, although we met before, but we're already bonded just because of the fact that we are Black. I don't care if he's African. I don't care if I'm African American. Again, we are all the same, and we want to be unified.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.